I should have just used the Wi-Fi thing. What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with another video. I hope you guys are enjoying the start to your weekend like we are. This video, we are not live, but hopefully you all are watching this together and sharing your comments back and forth in the comment section. Shout out to you all. Please make sure, like any other video, that you like this video and share this to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, or wherever you choose. You can also do it by text message if you're on your phone watching. You can click the share button and share the video to a friend of yours. And also, you know, it's Friday. If you have not purchased your tickets yet, because you've been waiting to get your tickets for our 10-year anniversary show, the link is inside the more info box. To purchase your ticket is $25. So please make sure you get your tickets for our 10th anniversary show. It's on August the 11th. The show starts at 2 p.m. And, you know, we are, what, 29 days away. Mm-hmm. So I am looking forward to meeting you all and to having a good time. And I just can't wait to celebrate our 10 years. And I want to give a shout out to my girl, Forts Rocks. I knew that she was locked out of her YouTube channel, but I wasn't the one, to tell you guys what's been going on and things like that. And she put up a video on Tuesday, I believe. It was either Tuesday night or Wednesday. I watched it. And she was just talking about the struggles of her trying to get her channel back because she was locked out of her email. And YouTube was like trying to get her to prove who she was. Yes, and they was like, oh, that's not enough to prove who you were. And I mean, she just went down the list, and I tried to help her. Ashley was the one who was able to help her because someone at Google actually like, oh, I watched her videos, and they were actually able to help. But just me watching her video and stuff, it just sparked something in me. It just really sparked me. When I say spark, because sometimes, you know, you could do this thing a long time. It's 10 years, 10 damn years is a long time. So you have your ups and you have your downs on this YouTube thing, or sometimes you just do it just because, you know, or I just got to put a video out. I know I got to record today. But just seeing her appreciation just reminded me of like how I feel about doing YouTube videos, and, you know, because she wasn't able to do it. Just, she's like, you know, I don't want to lose my work. This has been 7 to 8 years of hard work that I put into this, and I don't want it all taken away. Mm-hmm. And I know exactly how that feels to have a channel taken away from you, because we had a channel before. It was just Scorpion Show, and YouTube took that channel away, and my mom was like, well, what the fuck are you going to do? You going to let them win, or are you going to keep going? And I kept going. And we started this new channel, and shout out to everyone who watches this channel. Shout out to everyone out there just who watches everyone on YouTube. It's really tough out here in these YouTube streets. Some days I feel like, yes, I want to stop recording, and then some days I'm just like, no, I could never just stop making videos. Like, that is where I have been in 2018. It's up and down, up and down. Like, I feel like I'm getting old, and I feel like I don't just have to be honest. Like, I feel like I have to take more control of my life, because my life is just so consumed with what's everybody else's life and my family. It's like everything, and it's like I don't have that. But when I'm here, I love recording. I love talking into a camera. I know that people have issues just as much as I have issues, and I just want to say thank you to Rocks for being so transparent about that whole experience, because it just really lit a spark in me. And don't ever forget your password no more. And like she said, she's gonna. She forgot her password? Yeah, she forgot her password. Oh, wow. And because you know how you be so used to just logging in because the computer has it. Mm-hmm. And I think she had got a new work computer, mm-hmm. and she couldn't remember the password and got locked out. So it's tough.
Good to use. For me, anyway, I only use 2 passwords.
Yes,
for
me
everything.
too. Okay, okay.
For everything.
Okay.
My bank login, this, that. It's only 2 passwords. So I never ever forget, because if it's not one,
it's the other.
It's the other. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's always. I mean, that it works for me, and it's been working for me for like the past umpteen years now. So, you know, it's crazy because one of the reasons why I started doing it that way was because I would have different passwords for different things and I wouldn't remember. And then I just remembered when I would hand my phone over to somebody for them to log into their thing, I'd be like, damn, I can't let them log in because I don't remember what my
password is.
You know, and then I can't get back in my own thing. So then that's when I said, you know what, I gotta start. And that's what I did. So it's good to do that because if not, then you'll be, you know,
locked out. And I wish I could remember my old MySpace password.
Oh yeah, now that I don't. But see, that was I don't remember that. But see, that was the days before I started using
social media.
No, not social media. Just using 2 passwords. Because I couldn't even tell you what.
But now you got to be clever with them passwords.
Yeah, you
like
do.
Uppercase, lowercase, or whatever.
Oh yeah,
numbers.
Yeah. And trust me, every so often I change my passwords, but I make sure I change them to what the fuck I know. And it's so funny because years ago people used to always think my passwords were Beyonce related.
Yes.
And they never were. Okay. Because that would be too obvious. Yes. They were never Beyonce related at all. And people are like, oh, I know it's
9481.
Yeah, stupid stuff like that. Like it's nothing Beyonce related, it's nothing her family related, it's just something that you'd be like, bitch, why? You know, but you have to do that for yourself. And again, like I said, every so often you have to keep changing your passwords, but make sure they are something that you can remember.
Yes, and also, just to let y'all know that when you do the password thing, like on sites like Google and stuff, you can give them your phone number. And if you change your phone number, make sure that you update that, because sometimes they'll be like, all right, we sent the text to this phone, and if you don't have that number no more, then you really messed up. So you got to be up to date on all of your passwords so this doesn't happen to you. And I told Rox, I said, Rox, this is going to be a good story time when you get your channel back. I can see it now. So, and all the love that she just got from everybody. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Rox. I love you, Rox. Don't forget no more fucking passwords. And we're going to move on to a story that I woke up to today about Emmitt Till. And I was like, why is Emmitt Till trending? I thought like maybe the trailer came out because I know that they were saying Taraji P. Henson was doing a movie about him. But in actuality, it was the Department of Justice reopening a 60-plus-year-old case about Emmitt Till. And I kept trying to find out why are they reopening the case. And I couldn't find the story until I went to abc.com. So I'm going to read to you guys what I found on abc.com if my laptop works right. Okay. So it's a renewed investigation into the brutal slaying of Emmitt Till was prompted by a 2017 book that revealed lies by a key figure in the 1955 case that helped build momentum for the civil rights movement, a federal official said Thursday. A federal official familiar with the matter told the Associated Press that information published in the book led federal investigators to re-examine the case. The official wasn't authorized to discuss the matter publicly and spoke to AP on conditions of anonymity. I hope I said that right. Anonymity. Anonymity. Bitch. Shit, bitch. You said it. The reopening case was... we said that part. The book... The Blood of Emmitt Till by Timothy B. Tyson quotes a white woman, Carolyn Donham, as saying during a 2008 interview that she wasn't truthful when she testified that the black teen grabbed her, whistled, and made sexual advances at a Mississippi store in 1955. Tyson told reporters Thursday that he was contacted by the FBI weeks after his book was published in January 2017, and he furnished them interview recordings and other research materials. He doesn't think his research alone would support new charges, but said investigators may be able to link it to other materials in their possession. Now, this is my thing. If they have all of this, is that woman even still alive? And what are they going to do with reopening this case?
Well, I don't know if they would even. First of all, if it's been what, 63 years now since he was killed. 63 years later, I think all of us already know that he was unjustly killed. That's no question. I think for many of us, whether he whistled at her or not, I think the point was, why would you kill someone because they whistled at someone?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, she's saying that he didn't do that. But regardless of if he did, why would you kill someone over something like that? Now, she wasn't one of the people that killed him.
Mm-hmm.
She was just the person
that
who
lied about it.
accused him. So I'm not sure if, and there's probably something out there, but I'm not sure what kind of case would his family then turn around and, because again, she wasn't the one that actually killed him. Like you said, I don't know if she's still living, because that was 10 years ago when she did that interview,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure she would probably be in her 80s by now. But I don't know what would be against her, like, because all of the men who were involved that killed him are all dead.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe they plan on giving the family some money, or I don't know if you can posthumously charge people with murder after they're gone.
But I feel like they're dead. Like, I want them to be alive to get what they got coming from them.
Yeah, and for the family to get justice, because we all know how that went with the just with the jury, and then with the judge and the people who testified, and how they threatened his mom and made her feel uncomfortable going to the courtroom. It was just a whole hot mess back in the, and I hate talking about those times, but it happened. And I remember that story you told us to watch on YouTube with his family. It was so good. I mean, all you did was sit there and watch. It was good.
It's a very good documentary.
Yes.
Very good documentary.
I don't know what reopening the case is going to do. I honestly don't know, because it's so long ago. You can't charge anybody. Only thing they could do is just maybe send a letter to the family saying they apologize, and send them some money or something. I don't know what else they can do.
But it's so unfortunate because his mother's no longer living.
Yeah.
I don't think his mother had any other children after she remarried, so, you know, it's just unfortunate. It really is.
Yeah. So let's move on. So Whitney Houston's mother, Cissy Houston, released a statement on behalf of her and Dionne Warwick about the Whitney Houston documentary that was released on Friday. People been asking me, have I been going? I heard that it's only playing at the Chamonix whatever movie theaters there. I'm not going all the way out to the Chamonix to watch that. And I don't like going to the movies to watch a documentary. I feel like something like that is something you chill at home and you watch. And I'm going to be honest. I'll watch it on Netflix or whenever it comes on HBO or something like that. Then I will watch the documentary. But Cissy Houston was upset with how the story of Whitney Houston being molested by Dionne Warwick, she was upset about that coming out. And she was saying that she had no clue, her sister had no clue, and that Michael had no clue that...
who the hell is Michael?
Michael Houston.
Oh.
Michael Houston. So I guess...
Whitney's brother.
Yeah, Whitney's brother. That they knew that... that Whitney Houston was molested by Dee Dee. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, like, why would I... She was just upset about she's like, two of my children being molested by her. It don't make sense. I'm trying to give you, instead of reading the whole statement. She was saying that her sisters, that Dee Dee Warwick is no longer here. Whitney is no longer here to talk about it. So why is this out there where they can't defend themselves?
And I said that in our previous video when we originally heard about this. I said it's unfortunate because neither one of them are here to even say if it's true or if it isn't true. Dee Dee Warwick's not here to defend herself, and Whitney Houston's not here to say if it is true. Now, Whitney's brother, her older brother, said that he too was molested by her.
I believe he said that was Gary Houston. Yeah.
Well, Gary is Pat's husband.
Yeah, and that's Whitney's brother.
Yeah, but she has two brothers. I thought it was the other brother who said he was molested, not Gary.
I thought it was Gary who said he was molested.
Well, can we find out? Find out?
Let me Google. I'm gonna Google it right now.
Because I thought it was the older one.
Let's see. Gary Houston molested. Now, I know one of them. Who was? Dionne say Whitney abuse. This is the same story. We cannot overstate the shock and horror we feel and the difficulty we have believing that my niece Dee Dee Warwick molested 2 of my children. Dee Dee may have had her personal challenges, but the idea that she would have molested my children is overwhelming and for us unfathomable. She adds that she, Dion, and Whitney's brother Michael had never heard of the allegations before. We cannot reconcile the public's need to know about Whitney's life as justification for invasion of her privacy of the charge against Dee Dee, a charge which neither Whitney nor Dee Dee is here to deny, refute, or affirm.
So then maybe the charges of the other, that her brother was molested, is not true. Because Michael was saying he's never heard of this before, and Gary is not mentioned at all.
Yeah. Gary's not mentioned, Michael's not admitting. I don't know, but
it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, because just because you say that it's unfathomable, I mean, it is fathomable.
Right.
Because a lot of people do things that we would think that they would never do. Ooh. And you're like, oh, I can't picture him doing that. But bitch, yes, they be out. A lot of people do a lot of things.
And then a lot of people don't do the things that they're accused of. So
yeah.
it's like, it's sad.
Yeah, you know? And she was also saying, like, when she was on the road, they had a babysitter. Like, I can't remember the name, but she said they had a babysitter. If she wasn't doing it, then another family member was watching it. And Dee Dee was never in the care of her children.
Who did Whitney supposedly tell this to?
I didn't watch the documentary to find out.
But I thought before the documentary we had that Whitney had supposedly told somebody, and that's how this had came out.
All I know was that they was like, the family saying, we didn't find out about this until 2 days before it was supposed to premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. That's when they found out about, you know, Whitney allegedly being molested by Dee Dee Warwick.
And when did it premiere?
About maybe 2 months ago.
Right.
Because that's when we started talking about it. Yeah.
But apparently it was somebody that Whitney supposedly confided in, right? Or she wrote
like a friend or
right.
Like some, and then, you know, Cissy also was like, if that was a friend, why would you reveal that? Because Whitney lived her life publicly, but everything wasn't for the public to know. Mm-hmm. So that's one of those things where, well, if it is true, why would you do that to someone who you call your friend? So yeah. She's trying to just defend it and just, I guess they're trying to make Dee Dee Warwick look good, but if that really happened, it's horrible. And it's nothing that nobody can do that. You can't confront her with it.
Right.
It's just that, I'm about to say we as parents, people, and I mean, even me, because I'm an uncle, like you want to be a protector. You don't want anything like that to happen. And you must continue to teach your children that if someone does something, you tell me. I don't care how horrible it is. I don't care what they say. Oh, you're going to kill me, or I'm going to do this. You have to tell. It's tough, but you have to teach your children that. And I feel for Cissy Houston because the last 6 years has just been nothing but
scandal,
yes,
rumors.
Yes.
Just let her daughter rest.
And she can't even just be at peace. She lost her daughter and she lost her granddaughter. And I think we forget that she lost Bobby Christina too. So Cissy is in mourning, and all everybody wants to do is release a Whitney film or a documentary, and I'm just tired of hearing about Whitney Houston.
Me too.
Can Whitney rest? Can she rest? One to other news. Cardi B has given birth to Culture Kyary Cephas. And I don't know how many pounds the baby weighed and everything. I just want to say congratulations to Cardi. I know that she's going to be a fun mother. She looks like she would be a fun mother. And, you know, soon she'll be back on tour with, she'll be going on tour with Bruno Mars. So it's going to be a nice little show. That's a show I would really love to see. I want to see Bruno Mars, period. But then with Cardi, and then with the release of her album, and I actually like her album, I think it would be a great tour. So if I get a chance, I'm going to definitely go see Cardi. And then there was this rumor about Nicki Minaj buying Cardi B's daughter a $5,000 thing, and Cardi tried to call to see if it was true, and it wasn't true. And you know, well, no, people were saying that Nicki bought it, but then Cardi denied it. Like, people just love putting these women against each other. They after Nicki felt some kind of way, I'm sure that Nicki and Cardi talked about it at the Met Gala, because we haven't heard anything negative after that. we seen them speaking together, and they had a chance to have that moment, and that was that. And Nicki been paying for people to go to college. Cardi been trying to have his baby while arguing with different people over dumb shit on social media. And speaking of dumb shit on social media, if you don't like anything that Mikel and I say, please do not think that threatening me on social media is the best thing to do. And I'm telling you, you can come to 22nd and Burks anytime and ask for me.
Who threatened you?
Yes. Somebody was upset about what I said about Monica in the video.
What did you say about it?
I just think that Brandy has a better voice than Monica. That doesn't take away from Monica at all. Because I have Monica's albums, I know her songs, I can sing them, and I know the lyrics to them. And if she comes here, I will go see Monica on tour too. But don't make it seem like, oh, that's my sis, I'm going to do this, oh, I can't stand the Scorpio show. Like, girl, don't do that. If you're not going to back it up, please don't do that. And I'm going to fight you when I see you're going to fight me over what I said about Monica and Brandy. Is it that serious? Has it gotten that serious? I thought the Stan War days were over.
Are you sure this wasn't a fake page?
Oh, no, it wasn't a fake page. Because I got into her pictures on her page.
It's a female or man?
It's a man. But I call him sis. Because when you see them pictures and get up into it, now he's really going to fight me. And I dare him to try me.
Well, maybe he was joking.
Well, you don't joke like that. You don't threaten nobody to...
Because I can't see somebody being that serious. Ever being that serious. You got that from next door?
Yes, I did.
Is it not flat?
It's not flat. All I know is I really have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, because you keep shaking his leg.
Yes, I have to go to the
bathroom.
Go.
Just go. No, please go. Because I'm tired of shaking his leg.
Because peeing is not going to stop it. I don't have to. It's going to take the time, and I want to finish this.
Oh, you have to do that?
Yes, I'm going to finish.
I'm sure you knew you had to do that before we push record.
Yes, I did.
So then why?
Because
what? I
want to get this.
I wasn't in the. What do you mean you want to get this done? I would have to wait for you to go to the bathroom. That's all. Because you shaking his leg is irritating.
All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop shaking
Jesus. Because I want to get this done. Who's in a rush? I'm not in a rush. I would have to wait for you to go to the bathroom.
I know. So.
Do you hear yourself?
So, listen, don't do that. It's Friday, I know. Shit. LaShawn McCoy, now listen. We know about the case, or we heard about the situation, but please give us to Monday to where we can sort everything out. There's even more stories coming up on TMZ. They got 911 calls. They have stories about the jury situation, the girl getting beat up and everything. Now listen, I think that he had something to do with it, but I don't think he actually did it. He paid somebody to do it. But we'll get all the information. And we will have a nice discussion.
The police did say that didn't they say they caught the person?
I haven't.
And apparently, this person is saying that apparently, this is not a random act.
So this was the hired help.
This was a targeted act. This wasn't random. And if it was targeted, it looks a little bit more like maybe because that person didn't just rob; they beat the hell out of her.
Yes.
That ain't no normal robbery.
And they beat her. What you call it when you beat somebody with a gun? They beat her with a
pistol whip.
Pistol whip. Yes. They beat her with
in
a
her
gun.
face.
Yes. And she's a beautiful woman. Oh, that's a shame. But is it really that serious over jewelry? I heard there's stuff that was about the house. He got the lights turned on to the house. She wouldn't give the jewelry.
I can see him paying for somebody to go in there and pistol whip him. I really can.
Yeah.
I can see him do that.
These football players are dumb. Right. And they think that they won't get caught.
Right. But this is what happens when y'all start dating outside of your race.
But it can be with any race.
No, it can be with any race. But you know, when these sports athletes, they make it big,
they
forget about all black women. And I'm not saying that you can't date who you want to date, because you can. But I find it quite interesting.
Because
and every time you turn around, these women are looking more and more like the Kardashians.
Because I believe that when black men get a certain amount of money, they feel like, and this is my thought sometimes, that that a white woman or a Latina woman would be more passive than a black woman would be.
And most black women are not going to allow them to do what the fuck they want to do.
Yes.
And of course, they want to still do what they want to do.
Yes.
So that's why they're getting these.
Because she ain't going to say nothing. I pay for this house.
Right.
I pay for this car. I pay everything. So if I want to fuck a bitch on the side, that's what I'm going to do. And that's how a lot of them act. And that's what they do.
And that's what they do. They just get a beautiful trophy girlfriend to make them look good on their arm. Because half of them be butt ugly, these athletes.
But a lot of them are good looking. A lot of them.
Yeah, well.
And I just be like, wow. You know, sometimes, but yeah, anyway.
See, everybody can't be like LeBron James and Steph Curry.
No. Aren't they both high school sweethearts that they're with?
I'm not 100% sure about Steph Curry, but
Savannah has been there a long time.
She was with him before he was LeBron James.
Yeah. And I know her name, and I don't even know her face like that. You know,
well, she's a beautiful black woman.
Yes.
Beautiful black woman. They have all those kids together. LeBron said, I ain't never getting rid of her. Yeah. She stuck by me before I was LeBron fucking
But he
James.
got a scandal too.
Well, it doesn't matter if he has a scandal. He also has a good black woman.
Okay. And allegedly another child.
Well, I don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh, I know nobody does.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'm going to tell you what it is when I stop the scandal. Allegedly. So, yeah. These men are a mess.
Yeah.
I'm a mess too, I ain't gonna lie. So, the Papa John's founder. I don't care about this story because it's just another story where a white man with money says the N-word and, you know, he gets caught. I'm just mad that it took them like 2 months to reveal that he actually said it during a conference call. Why would you say something like that on the conference call and think you can get away with that? I do not know.
Well, what exactly happened?
So they were doing one of those conference calls, I guess you know, and he actually said the N-word. I'm going to pull it up. And he had to step down from a couple of things that he has. It's like a business meeting call.
But what would he need to say the N-word for on a business call? Like, what would be the
president? In the wake of controversial remarks concerning the National Football League's handling of anthem protests, Colonel Sanders called black niggers and never faced a public rebuke. Now, I don't know what Colonel Sanders he's talking about, but I don't remember that ever being said.
There's only one fucking Colonel Sanders.
I know that, and that's KFC.
Right. So why would you say you don't know what Colonel Sanders he's talking about?
Because I want to know what Colonel Sanders he's talking about.
Where are you reading from?
Right here.
Because I'm trying to get what you read. Excuse me. An article published Wednesday in Forbes detailed the latest incident from May involving a conference call between Papa John's executives and the marketing agency Laundry Service. In the call, whatever that name is, Snatter sought to downplay his early remarks about the NFL's protest, led by African American players, allegedly saying that Colonel Sanders called blacks niggers and never faced a public review. Oh.
But why did it take 2 months for something like that was said?
But then see, first of all, Colonel Sanders called black niggers and never faced a public review. But Colonel Sanders also was from a different time. First of all, Colonel Sanders died in 1980. In 1980, we did not have people protesting the way we have now regarding what you said. White people at that time, 40, 50 years ago, were not held to a standard that they are today when they're using that word. So the fact that he even tried to compare Colonel Sanders to today's world, we're talking about Colonel fucking Sanders.
I'm just tired of white people just thinking that they can just do whatever they want.
Now, if Colonel Sanders was alive today, I'm sure he would have been, you know what I mean? But we're talking about over 40 years ago.
But a lot of white people call black people niggers in public. I mean, in private. And I mean, we say a lot of things about white people in private. We all talk shit about each other. But you have to be smart enough to know when to say it and when not to say it. You can be as racist as you want in the confines of your home. But when it comes to being out there in the public, there's just certain things you don't say.
Yeah.
You know, even, like, you just don't. Even if you're trying to make a positive point, by still saying the N-word, just don't say it. Because the first thing you're going to hear is you're racist. You already know that. Especially if you're white. You bet not say it. Just leave it alone. It's not worth fighting. It's not a battle worth fighting over the N-word thing. You can say it. If you hear it in the song, that still does not give you the right to call black people that. No matter how many times we say it. We don't call nobody spicks. We don't call nobody wetbacks. We don't call nobody crackers. We don't talk like that. We don't call nobody japs. We talking about all the racist slurs. I don't use those words. Now I just said them, but that don't mean that I'm racist.
Who the hell do you know uses them?
Now, what's he using in that context?
Because you just went overboard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they do it.
Yeah, well.
They use the slurs all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, go back to Africa. Go back to Mexico.
Speaking
of
of
the lady,
speaking of going back to fuck to Mexico, because I'll be there in December. But speaking of,
I'm about to say for what? Don't do that stupid deal.
No, okay. No, you know I won't. But anyway, speaking of
them alone.
Speaking of fuck of them, okay, this lady had the audacity the other day in Los Angeles. She was at a park with, I guess, her daughter, and a 91-year-old man was walking, Mexican man, was walking through the park, and he was attacked by this woman. He was beat, not hit, but beaten in the face with a concrete brick by this woman. And apparently a few other men in the park joined in and started helping the woman beat up this 91-year-old man. Now, I have to say this before I continue this story. I must say, I saw the pictures of this man. I saw his face, horrible, horrible, horrible. But what I will say is this man looks really, really good to be 91 years old. Despite all those abuses, he looks really good. Like, I'm just going to say that. I just feel like he looks good to be 91. But back to the story. Apparently, this woman claims that while in the park, this man walked past her and I guess brushed up against the child that she was with in attempts to try to take the child from her. She reacted and then started hitting the man and then called for help. And the men, I guess, around saw that this woman was screaming for help.
Where is he going at 91 and how fast is he getting away at 91?
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. They came and started beating him. So there were people driving by, and this one woman driving by, she stopped her car and I guess she started yelling at them to stop doing this. She couldn't get out her phone quick enough to actually catch them, record them beating, but she was able to take a picture of the woman with the brick in her hand. She was able to call the police and identify this woman, and they caught the woman, and now the woman has been arrested. But what makes it even more worse is that this woman had the audacity to tell this man to go back to his country. Mind you, might I add, this woman is a black woman. And told this Mexican man to go back to his country. Now, no one can really dispute whether or not this man tried to take this child. But I highly doubt that, because I'm thinking like 91 years old, walking through a park, I can't imagine, where, like you said, how fast is he going to get away? And then apparently they said this woman is 30 years old. She looks older than that from this picture, but that's the age she gave. Who am I to judge? There's some people say I look older than I am, but who am I to judge? You know what I mean? It's the way it is. But I'm just like, it's so weird. And they interviewed, the news people interviewed this man's grandson. And his grandson was saying, you know, how hurt he was that these people would attack his grandfather this way. You know, his grandfather, I don't think he was able to speak English, but he was just translating, like, you know, I was just walking through the park. And then they started attacking me. It's so sad. It's so sad.
They're going to fuck her up in prison.
They're going to get her. They're going to get her. They're going to get her. Because
and you've got to pick up a brick instead of calling 911.
Yeah.
Imagine all that time you had to call the cops.
Yeah.
And hold this man down if you felt he was going to do that. But you pick up a brick and you beat this man, you could have killed him.
Yeah. And then she would have been in jail for murder.
If you knew you wasn't wrong, because some men they ask when they do stuff like that.
Right.
You wouldn't have ran away.
Right.
It wouldn't have took them a long time to find you.
Right, because she didn't stay, she then turned around and left.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. I forgot about that part. Then she turned around and left. And they still don't know where these other men are that helped her beat this guy up.
Oh, they be out if they at the park.
But the audacity.
Them. Yeah, and I'm surprised they ain't got the video.
And the sad thing about it is this man, he doesn't live there. I think he was visiting, and they say he visits his family quite often, and then he'll walk through the park or whatever the case may be. 91 years old.
He should have somebody welcome him at 91.
Well, I mean, I
know they.
I want people to stop thinking that because you're a certain age that therefore you need to be assisted. There are some 91-year-olds that are doing way better than some 25-year-olds. Hell, nowadays old people are living longer than 25-year-olds.
Yeah, because they're so busy killing each other.
Exactly. A lot of them are doing the right thing. So I want us to get out this mind that somebody old somehow needs to be assisted, because a lot of them don't. But it's sad. This woman needs to. She should be needed to be assisted once people get done with her.
Yeah.
And they should have allowed somebody to whoop her ass before they took her to jail. Beat her in the face with a fucking brick. And I posted her picture and the picture of them on my Instagram page too. And she's standing there still with the brick in her hand, like, it's so sad. It really is.
So I'm going to read this story to you guys about Charlamagne. This is our last story of the day. But I had something from TMZ about the Charlamagne thing. Here. Now, which one do I want to read from? So Charlamagne is facing pressure from a 17-year-old rape case with a woman claiming that he molested her back in the day. Now, from what I read on TMZ, Charlamagne cooperated with the prosecutors. He took a DNA test, and they found none of his DNA with this woman. So, you know, they were at a party. Let me just give y'all what was going on. Let me just say y'all what was going on. Reed was only 15 when she brought the claims against Charlamagne. Allegations he has denied. Her mother told the Blast at the time she was trying to protect her daughter from suffering and stop the teenager from cooperating in the investigation. According to a 2001 police report from the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office, Reed and a friend claimed to have been picked up and brought to a short-stay naval housing facility and given a liquid drink that tasted like soda. That was the last thing Reed's friend said she remembered before waking up with a man trying to kiss her. She claimed to have forced the man away and went to find Reed, who was in the room across from where she was, naked and crying. She stated she had been raped. The girls were brought to a local hospital where staff corroborated that a sexual assault had occurred and took a statement implicating McKelvey, who is Charlamagne, as the assailant. Nearly a month later, McKelvey, who was 22 at the time, was arrested for criminal sexual conduct with a minor in second degree, specifically willfully, unlawfully, and felonious engaged in penal vaginal intercourse with the 15-year-old child. Charlamagne has previously discussed the charges against him with DJ Academics. He said he had thrown the party where the alleged rape took place but left early. He said that he spoke to the police following the incident since it had been his party, but since they didn't have any suspects, that they pinned it on him. He added that the police DNA test didn't even match, and that is why they reduced the charges. So after all of these years, there's a petition to get Charlamagne off the radio due to this incident that happened back in 2001.
Well, I'm confused. Scroll up a little bit. Because it says that, right there, it says that they went to the hospital. So let's just be clear about this. This isn't something that this woman is coming out with in 2018. Back in 2001, when this allegedly happened, the woman went immediately to the girl went immediately to the police and went immediately to the hospital.
Yep.
So this isn't something that she's just saying, and they did a rape kit. This isn't something that in 2018 she's just making up. That night, she went to the police and went to the hospital and they did a rape kit. And the hospital said, yes, she has been sexually assaulted. But you said that they don't have any DNA.
They don't have any of his DNA, and you know with them rape kits, they swap you and all of that. So if
I wonder
DNA,
if a condom would stop it.
I'm not sure because I mean, you can have DNA from your hair. I mean, DNA from anywhere.
Right.
And if they don't have any of his DNA on her body at all, even in fingernails or anything, because they probably tested the girls. I don't know. But if he doesn't have any DNA...
I'm sure they was looking for the DNA inside of her vagina.
Yeah, that's
not on her hand, because if it's the party, I mean...
I'm not, but I mean, yeah, they're going to, because it's vaginal sex. Yeah. She's a champion. She was doing that at 15. So, I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I agree, but wow. Because I mean, at 16, I was just a man. But, don't look that way. So this is my thing. If he has been found not guilty due to the DNA evidence, why are you bringing this up against him? What is it that he can do? I mean, he shouldn't have thrown that party. Y'all shouldn't have been drinking. But I want to know, like, I I can't see him. He's not responsible. He's responsible for the drinks being at his party, but he's not responsible for you being sexually assaulted. Not unless maybe he knew what was in those drinks. Now, did he know what was in there? I don't know.
Right.
Were you the only one that passed out at this party? Because he's claiming it was a party.
Right.
How many people were there? How many people were passed out? And how many people were sexually assaulted? Did the police investigate any other women that were there at the party? Anybody else? Anything else happened to them? I think that this is a wannabe takedown of Charlamagne, and I don't know why they want to take him down, but that's what I think that this is. This is not something that, if you accuse someone of raping you and it's been determined that they did not rape you, how can you come out with 17 years later to try to reopen the case against that same person when there's no DNA evidence linked to you?
Right. That's a little weird.
Yeah, that's just like you having sex with someone and you got pregnant and it's been determined 17 years ago that he's not the father, and you're saying that you want to reopen it anyway just to see if he really is the father or not.
And then 17 years later, it's telling you he's still not the father.
Not the father. Like, yes, like it's if you have been sexually assaulted, I know that it's very tough to deal with.
So they had to have found DNA, but not his DNA.
It was somebody's. They said she was molested.
Right.
Or had sex.
So if his DNA doesn't match with the DNA,
maybe he knows somebody. Right. I'm not saying
that. Well,
nothing.
maybe that's why she's bringing it back up, because she's like, well, listen, it was your party and you definitely know who did it. But she's not saying that. She's accusing him of raping her.
Yes, and he said that he left the party early. Now, I don't know what host throws a party and leaves their own
Me
party.
neither, because I don't believe that part. I guess, listen, just, yeah.
It's some stuff.
He's trying to get himself away from the fact that he was there, which I believe he was there. Yeah. But
I'm going to tell you, if that DNA is the truth, okay? It's the answer, and if it says no, it's no.
Yeah. Can you imagine how many people's DNA you have in you?
As long as the results say negative.
It doesn't matter, right? Oh.
Well, you should ask yourself that.
Ask myself what?
How much DNA has been on you? Well, you have given out.
Well, me giving it out ain't the problem.
Who else DNA floating through your body?
Nobody's.
All right.
No.
Because what they say, I do not play those games.
Yeah.
The dumb game.
Okay. Only games being played is the Game of Thrones.
What game?
It won't be. Okay. Those games will never be played over here.
And
we had a closed session Bible study yesterday at church, and it was so good. Our closed session Bible studies are for adults only, no kids. And so my pastor had people write down topics that they would like discuss during Bible study, and one of the topics was sex.
Who wrote that?
We don't know. But one of the topics was sex, and so that was the last topic, and so we started talking about sex, and in the Bible, how important not to have sex before marriage and this, that, and third, and we just started talking about that, and then we got really deep into it, and it was funny because my pastor said he now talks to his teenage boys, about sex. And he said, I tell my boys, if she don't smell right, to get out of the room.
Okay.
Get away from her. And I said, yes. Because should no woman lay down with a man and he smell her.
And no man should smell either.
No.
Like some people got naturally a musk scent.
But I don't want to have a naturally musk scent when I'm about to have sex.
Not too much going on. Clean up. If you know you about to clean up, like you know that
usually musk scent means that something's dirty.
Yeah, but I mean, cause some people, you could take a shower and stuff, and
if you take a shower and you still got a musty scent, then something's not right, and you need to go to the doctor.
You've been out all day, but you need to just, cause some people just don't care that you have that all day scent.
I wrote this boy just now and said that Cardi B came out and said that this isn't true, and he wrote me back and said, "You think it's not true?" If she says it's not true, then obviously it's not true.
Yeah, and the people said that Nicki never bought anything from them, so it's not true. Damn. But going back to the sex thing, what's so funny now? Sex is like, people who are virgins, they are being condemned for being virgins, and I just don't think that's should be the case. If someone is not ready to have sex, They are not ready to have sex. I don't care how old they are. Or if they say that they're saving themselves for marriage, let them save themselves from marriage. Sex is no longer like a sacred thing, and sex should be sacred, especially if you have been saving yourself. Do not let anybody tell you, oh, well, what if you get married to him and the sex is not good? If the sex is not good, y'all work on that shit together and y'all become pros at it. Hopefully, if you're saving yourself for someone, hopefully they are a virgin too, but it's going to be hard to find someone that is also a virgin. And because you've been holding your virginity for so long, don't give your virginity up to an asshole or somebody who's just for the moment, or just because you thought he was cute and bought you flowers and just did nice things.
Well,
no.
how many people have you given your ass?
Nobody has gotten this.
Well, how many times have you given an asshole virginity?
It don't matter. We're not having that conversation about me. I'm telling people who out there who are virgins, keep it sacred. And
how many times have you lost your virginity?
I'm not answering those questions. Y'all know I don't play those games though. I mean, if you want to do,
say.
Listen. If anybody
who knows you knows that you play those games. If you are the lead reindeer in the reindeer
if you
games.
getting on, okay. You think I'm jumping on anything? It better be worth it, because
or if anything jump on you.
No, anybody in that mess.
Also, basically, what you're saying is you're a virgin.
No,
because it seems like you're saying you're still a virgin.
I'm not. No, I'm not a virgin.
Okay.
What I'm saying is,
how many times have you lost your virginity?
I cannot. It's not a lot of people who've been. I can honestly say.
Now you have more.
I can honestly. I've had. I don't like talk. I really don't like discussing this. But if I'm going to discuss,
all I asked you was a question.
No, but I'm gonna keep it real.
Because you have many outlets in your body that you can.
Sex is not sex is not just you have to do. You have to have anal intercourse. You don't have to have anything. I'm saying it.
Nobody said that.
I'm saying it.
I'm asking you, how many times have you lost your virginity? Meaning there are.
First of all, it's only one time you can lose.
No, it's not.
You can only lose
it in your behind. You can lose it in your mouth.
No, you only gonna lose your virginity
one time. Lose it in your nose. Not in your Janet Jackson.
Listen, if you want to give it up, they gotta be worth giving it up to.
I don't think Janet Jackson can lose their virginity.
And just because it's a nice size, that don't mean that you just hop on anything.
You think any of them can?
No. What happened?
I said I don't think Janet Jackson can lose their virginity. You may notice.
I'm not having this conversation with you.
Those not big ones.
You know what? I could go there, but I'm not. I'm going to wait until after the 29th.
You better the 30th.
Whatever day.
The 30th. And if you keep it up, I'll make sure you don't see the light of day. I'm like, you going to wear?
You want those tickets.
You want that. Bitch, that email said, your name is Russell Boy.
Oh! Don't try me. No.
But you better not ever try her from now until the 30th.
Woo! But listen, I really gotta tell y'all, if you're gonna save yourself, save it for the right person that puts a ring on it. Let's just be for real about it. And I say that because it was a big thing about this guy that was on The Bachelor, and then Wendy Williams had someone who was a virgin in her audience, and people are giving out the wrong information. And this is the Bible about sex. You save yourself. Don't let nobody ruin your sex for you, because you don't want it to be with an asshole, and then you're going to remember that person for the rest of your life. And I mean, you never forget the first time. You never forget the first time and who it was with and where you was at. And you gotta be careful about where you giving up your virginity at. Come on. We gotta talk about sex. And strap it up. Stop having this raw sex.
But somebody who doesn't want to talk about sex, he keeps going on and on.
I'll talk about sex,
something?
but not my sex.
Not his sex. Yeah, okay.
Because
you want to talk about everybody else's sex.
Yeah, but we gotta be all careful. And stop posting them videos of y'all getting ran up in with no condom on. That is not cute. You could just be randomly scrolling on Twitter.
Watching videos like that?
I don't know, but they randomly pop up on my thing.
People and you randomly watching them?
Sometimes. Right. But, it's just be on my... You gotta be.
Hey, first of all, this is not 2004. You ain't nothing just popping up on your thing. You're
on
clicking
Twitter,
on
it does. No,
you're clicking on
it's on the timeline because people be retweeting stuff.
Right, but videos on your Twitter timeline don't automatically play. You have to click it. So
yes,
cut it out.
they do. You have to stop
Not all
it
of
to turn
them.
this.
Not all of them.
And I'm not talking
Not
about
all of them. And those videos you talking about, you gotta push
they be
play.
full-fledged
So you know what you're
productions.
doing.
They be full-fledged productions.
He's so funny. He's so funny. Like he doesn't.
We all look at it.
Yeah, I'm not
We
saying I
all-
don't. I'm not saying I don't.
And I didn't talk about Basketball Wives this week. But Jennifer, you are a messy, and I'm going to save it all for you next week. On the next week when we talk about Basketball Wives. And I didn't watch Power, but Mikhail said it was a filler episode.
It was.
So, we'll discuss Power next Monday. If you have not gotten into Pose, Pose is one of the best shows on television. And this week was, ooh, that shit. I didn't know if I wanted to cry or if I just, well, I did laugh. They had me laughing this week. But more like that, the touching moments, oh, it was just like, that you a G, you can hold it in. You ain't got to cry. You know, so yeah, Power, Pose, Basketball Wives, any other thing. I've been watching Queen of the South on Netflix. You know, people been saying watching it for a long time. And I finally got into it, and I love it. But I'm going to tell y'all, I know some of y'all probably done passed the show, but I'm just waiting for Brenda to get killed. Because Brenda is just getting on my nerve, and she's doing too much, and I don't like her as a character on the show. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But thank y'all for watching this video. We will see you guys next week. Mikhail will be back with his recommendations next week for the Netflix. And make sure you use the hashtag Mikhail Monday. If you're looking for a good Netflix,
Mikhail Monday.
Mikhail movies, Mikhail movies. We're using the hashtag Mikhail movies to find a good Netflix or whatever.
Well, not just
recommendation.
Netflix, anything.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, a good recommendation.
Recommendation.
Now I can get to this bathroom and
Yeah, and go to the bathroom.
I'll see y'all next week. Shut up.